day, and the field is at the top of the stretch, and there goes Tiz the Law now to take over. It's Tiz the Law in front in the stretch, and there's an eighth of a mile to the finish. Dr. Post moves up on the outside into second, but it is Tiz the Law, and the New York bred is going to win New York's Belmont Stakes, the first leg of the 2020 Triple Crown.
Tiz the Law! And that was, of course, the reverse running of the Belmont Stakes, as it started with the Belmont instead of ending with the Belmont in this year of years. Tiz the Law, the favorite, but obviously well-deserving. And I'll talk about favorites. How about this guy? The Show, the longtime horseman, the legendary handicapper, great friend of mine as well, excellent golfer, terrible short game. Big tournament coming up this weekend. We'll talk about that, Mark. But Mark the Show Haidar, as you watch this, you picked Tiz the Law. Not that it was tough, but you also, I believe, picked 5 of the last 7 Derby winners. What was it like to see this first New York, bred horse win the Belmont in, 130-something years?
It was beautiful. I mean, this horse was ready. He's the top 3-year-old in the country at this moment. And if everything goes to plan, he's going to win the Travers next month.
He is. Tiz the Law. It was incredible. What a finish. Let's take a look as he crossed the finish line. I know he's a 4-5 favorite, but Dr. Post, he made the exacta a little interesting. And obviously Max Player made that try something as Tiz the Law crosses the line. Well, listen, welcome in to the task force. It's great to have everybody with you. I'm Dan Leach. And we, as I mentioned, have a very special guest on a show that I'm very excited to do. First off, I want to say we have a brand new Twitter at Leach Task Force, so follow that. But tonight is all about our great friends at AmWager, Mark. They are in this year of years, just on the precipice of this renaissance of horse racing, doing some real special things for viewers of the task force and the show tonight. This show is brought to you by our good friends at AmWager. There's a ton that we're going to get to as far as some special bonuses. Mark and I are going to talk about his history as a handicapper, some incredible stories the guy has. We're going to make some bets live on this show. And if people don't know, I know that some wonder about sports betting, which is now legal in at least where we're at, Mark, in Michigan. But horse racing and betting online is 100% legal. And it's been that way for a while. And I just want people to know that there's no risk of any illegalities when it comes to betting horse racing. But our great friends at AmWager have done a lot of stuff for us, giving you tons of bonuses. You can see them right there. I'll explain it in a minute. But before we get to anything, Mark, I want to welcome you in. You've been on the air with me many times before, and I don't say this lightly. You're a great friend, but you are a legendary handicapper, and I want to save the big pick 6 you won and how much that was for a little later on. But you've had some tremendous success when it's come to horse racing. How long have you been involved, and what got you into it?
It goes way back to when I graduated from high school. A buddy of mine took me out to Hazel Park with his parents, and we used to split a $2 show bet, $1 each, out at Hazel Park, the now long gone Hazel Park.
Right. And my dad owned a horse in Hazel Park, a 50th of a horse called Hot Dog Rocky.
I'm sure he was a good horse, but there's a lot of passion in horse racing, and there's a lot of passion coming from you, Dan, today, and your passion for AmWager is evident.
No, and they're great to listen. Like I said, we are in this period of time, Mark, where sports are basically shut down. And before we get into anything else, I wanted to say a lot of people have wondered and asked me, how is horse racing still going on back in March and April? And it is part of agriculture. And there's thousands and thousands of horses around the country, Mark, that if they shut down horse racing, obviously no fans were watching these races, horses would die. I mean, there's the stewards, there's the jockeys, there's the people that feed them, the trainers, the track workers. So people were saying, well, okay, basketball shut down. Why isn't horse racing? And that's why. But Mark, during this last few months, it's been kind of a renaissance for horse racing, where tracks like Fodder Park and, Indiana Grand that no one would ever have watched, people started watching and wagering on, and it helped create money and incomes for people that maybe wouldn't have seen that kind of money in many other reasons. So I think this has been a beautiful time for horse racing and a great time to get involved. It's not expensive to wager on horsing. at horse racing, and it's a lot of fun. But haven't you seen kind of a resurgence? Because you've been involved for a long time. What's this pandemic been like with horse racing for you?
Well, I'll tell you, the nice thing about horse racing is that gambling on horses is that you can pick your own level. You can win a lot of money with a little money. You can go to the track with $20 and literally come home with 20 grand. You can't do that betting sports, betting
Right.
other forms of gambling. So a day at the races is a day well spent. You know, there's a lot going on. I kind of would equate the first time I went to the racetrack with maybe the first time you went to a fair near the house, like a church thing where they had
Sure.
the rides and whatever, and the lights would turn on and you'd feel that energy. And that's the kind of feeling when you go to the racetrack. You might be really tired, but as you get closer to that track, the energy just kicks in. And believe me, you'll be there for 4 hours and you'll be on edge. You come out of there, you're drained, and you hit the wall again.
Yeah, well, that's what makes it so much fun. By the way, I love that your wife, and we're going to show a picture of her later, the great Mrs. Show, Heidi Haidar, has posted the live show, but unfortunately it's not going to work on it. She just made a comment there, but I want everyone to watch this, but share it on Facebook, Heidi, Mrs. Show. And also our good friend Dave Rieger, Lockistan, the co-host of the task force, he's saying hi. The show. He said it's a big get for me. So I'm telling you, it is. Hey,
Rieger, he's a tough golfer. You know, I've seen some big matches between the two of you, and
Yes.
they really they're competitive. Yeah, I enjoy the passion when you guys are golfing. Yeah.
We got one coming up tomorrow. My dad, Dave, I know you got a tournament tomorrow where you be there. My dad and Dave Rieger, and possibly Dave Rieger's brother Jeff, who I just crushed at Dearborn Country Club yesterday. But you might be coming on Sunday in 2 weeks to the great NAMI Skids and Pins outing that I MC every year to benefit the National Alliance of Mental Illness. Dave will be there. It could be Dave, you, and my dad. What a foursome that would be. With your drives, my short game, Dave's Broncos love, and my dad's cigars, we might win everything.
Well, we've had a couple good years. I really appreciate you having me out for that event.
Oh, it's so great.
I'm going to do all I can to make it. You know, I'm playing in the Monday qualifier for the PGA, so.
What are you, Donnie Trosper? All right, so Mark, I want to do a couple things here just to let people know. I'm going to get into some stuff with Mark here about, you know, how he preps his tickets, what the advantages and angles you want to play are in horse betting. Because like Mark said, you can go to the track with a few bucks, leave with a couple thousand. You don't have to wager a lot of money like betting 100 on a football game. I literally bet $3, Mark, a couple months ago on an Australian harness race at 2 a.m. and won $333. So you can do a lot of different things for very little money. So speaking of that, AmWager.com, our great friends that are bringing the show to you tonight, they are doing something very special for Task Force viewers. They're going to give you a free $10. Now, sometimes people say free $10. What I got to deposit? There's no deposit, Mark. All they've got to do.
You don't have to match it. They're going to give it.
So
to you.
This is the deal. Until
$10
Sunday,
you can make $1,000.
Right,
No
you make $2,000. So until Sunday, July 19th, all you got to do, as you can see on the screen in front of you, is go to AmWager.com. You get the team. You put the promo code in Task Force. They give you the $10 automatically, no deposit needed at all. You can also call them if you don't want to do it online and just give them Task Force and they'll give you the $10. But it doesn't end there, Mark, because that's the kind of guy I am. I want everyone, including my great friends at AmWager, to be happy. So let's say you win the $10, you lose $10, whatever. The $10 is gone. You also, by using the promo code Task Force, let's say you want to put in $40. Let's say you want to put in $60. Let's say you want to put in $29, whatever it is. They will match that for you. So let's say you get the free $10. You see me and Mark make a play tonight. We make an exact amount. We lose it. You want to bet again. If you give them $50, they'll match it for $50 free dollars. You can't beat that, Mark. That will go on forever. So as long as you sign up and use the promo code Task Force, that's not till Sunday. That's whenever you decide to deposit. Maybe you want to wait till September to watch the Derby and bet on the Derby or the Preakness or whatever it is. You can wait till whenever you want to get that deposit bonus, but it's only on your first deposit. But act now if you want to get the $10. The website is obviously AmWager.com. But if you go on my Facebook page, any of the three of them, the Task Force Facebook page, my Twitter at Dan Leach 971 or at Leach Task Force, the link is right there. Click it, put in Task Force, free $10. Mark, you don't really get free stuff these days. You can't beat that. You're a horse player. Why would you not want to get a free $10? Like you said, you can win 1,000.
That's right. We're going to build that 10 into 1,000 tonight, Danny. Yeah.
Yes. So I want to do a couple things when it comes to wagering. And first, let me just do this because I want people to see how easy it is to wager on their site. And listen, Mark, you and I have wagered at other sites before. There are many of them out there. It doesn't mean that they're not good. But I just think that and obviously I love that they're sponsoring the show, but this is just the truth. You don't work with somebody that you don't believe in a product. If you do, I think that makes you a pretender. And Mark, if there's anything aside from being insane and crazy, you know I'm not a pretender. You know that I am who I am, and I say what I say, and I mean it. So when you look at this website, let's take a look here, Mark. This is what they call the pro version, which is kind of for maybe a little more knowledgeable handicappers. Doesn't matter if you're not, either way. But let's just take a look at what they've got here. And we're going to make some big wagers coming up in a minute. But just taking a look at it, there's not a ton of action tonight. But you got Modern Era coming up. It shows all the tracks right here. So it shows you what you've got, how many minutes to post in what race. You have all the morning line numbers here. You have all the current odds right here. What a dollar bet would pay. Let's say you want to make it a $5 bet. It shows you what a $5 bet would pay to win on the one horse there. And then this is what I think is so cool, Mark. It's got the true odds. And before I get into what you like to do to build tickets and what angles you like to use, can you let the people out there know, because you're the expert here. I've learned a lot, but when you look at this race, for example, Mountaineer, you've got, what do we have, an 8-horse field. It shows you the true odds right there compared to the win odds of what the actual track odds are. And if people don't know, you are tied into the pools at these tracks. So you're wagering with people all over the country and when there's fans at the track. So it shows you the percentage of the money on the pool on that horse, on the 2-horse, the favorite, or the 1-horse is the favorite. It shows you the percentage of the place pool as well. When you explain to people out there, Mark, that maybe aren't is really understanding on this, that true odds compared to the actual odds you're betting on.
Well, simply put, the true odds are what AmWager has a program where they evaluate the past performances of each horse, right, and they come up with what they believe the true odds are of that horse winning a race. Now, the actual odds are what you see it displayed on the screen. Sometimes they're pretty close. But when you see a big discrepancy, meaning, say, the true odds are 12-1 and the horse is 20-1, then you've got value because this horse was going to win more times at a 12-1 rate than what the public has evaluated at a 20-1 rate. Now, sometimes I've used this AmWager with my son in the past, and he's pointed out horses where the true odds were, say, 2 or 3-1, and these horses have gone off 12 to 15-1 and come in. So you're, as a horse player, you're always looking for value because every race, these people that enter these horses, these trainers, they think they can win the race. All right.
Oh, everybody
believes they can win that race. And that's why the longest shots on the board do win some of these races, because these trainers know that they've got a horse that can compete at that level. And when you're going to make good money is when you find that value, when you can beat that favorite that's been overbet.
Yeah, no, I think it's a very well pointed there and well said, because, there's people that are going to be watching this that don't know much about it, want to get involved, only bet on the Triple Crown Days or Breeders' Cup. And that's great. And that's kind of how I was going back 7, 8, 9, 10 years. But especially now, and especially in the last 4 or 5 years, there are so many advantages you can come up with. And we're talking obviously about the true odds and win odds. This is one thing. But whether it's, looking at past performances, looking at speed charts, if you want to get really interested and into the minutia of what racing can do for you. But that's kind of what, and there's really ways that you can have a huge advantage over the average player. Mark, you and I were just talking recently about all the money in the pools on Derby Day or the Preakness and how that's such a great data bet. When you look at how you build a ticket, let's say, we're going to go through this in a little bit, exactas and tries and superfectas, and make a couple actually wagers live on air right now. And by the way, before I get into anything else, I just want to keep mentioning this because I can't say it enough. Go to AmWager.com, put in the promo code Task Force. They're going to give you a $10 instant bonus, no deposit needed whatsoever. Also, if you lose that, you can still get up to 100% or $100 match bonus if you give the promo code Task Force. 450 tracks across the globe, licensed and regulated in the U.S. They're completely legal. So this is the night to get involved. And by the way, all the info and the actual website link is on all the Facebook pages, the Task Force Facebook page, my personal as well as my Twitter at Dan Leach 971 and Leach Task Force. So check that out. But Mark, what do you like to do? And we'll get back to the website here in a minute. When you build a ticket, what are some of the advantages or angles you like to try to use? I know some people want to try to always beat the favorite. Others look for value in a horse that should be maybe 5-1, but is 15-1. Some people want to look at a horse that's the favorite and say, you know what? This is a 2-1 favorite. It's the favorite, but I think this favorite's going to win. What are the, the angles and the advantages you look for? Because I've seen you study on big Derby days or big horse racing nights, and it's amazing what you go through. What can you tell to the people out there to be successful, even if you're becoming a novice handicapper?
The first thing I would tell you is every race is different. No two races are alike. So let's keep it simple and talk about a one race wager, okay? As opposed to building a ticket that involves multi races.
Sure.
If say you have a race and let's look at the next race, say at Mountaineer. If you want, you can pull it up on the screen.
Let's do that. Let's do that right now. I'm going to go to the next race at Mountaineer, and here we go. So let's go to, I think the race is going off right now. Do you want to do this one or you want to do race 5?
Go to race 5. And
all right, here's race 5.
They probably, there's 10 minutes to post. Let me explain a few things first, then we'll go to the actual wager. But what you're looking for initially are the conditions of the race. Are these colts? Are these fillies? What distance are they going? And what level each horse is competing at. So you're going to have to get familiar with some terms on distances. At Mountaineer, they run a lot of 6 furlong races. Looks like this next race is a 4.5 furlong race, maiden special weight. That means that these are young horses. They haven't won a race yet. That's why they're called maidens. And by Mountaineer standards, this is a pretty high purse, $15,500. So these trainers, they think these horses are relatively decent. They're probably young. I haven't seen the racing form on these horses, but they probably have a little bit of experience. Now, a lot of people shy away from this kind of race because the horses don't have you don't have a track record to go by. But these are the kind of races I like because you can find hidden value here. And I would say it favors the more experienced player, this kind of race, because I can look at breeding and just like, say, some families you knew growing up, there were, the kids in the family were big and strong, but they were slow, or other kids were really fast. These horses, you can look at their family lineage, and some of them will show speed early in their careers, right out of the gate. So if you have that knowledge, other people have that knowledge, but they might not catch it. And that's why you look at the odds to evaluate, okay, this horse is 6-1, but I know that his progeny are real good, their first and second races, maybe there's an overlay there. I'll bet this horse at 6-1 when I think he should be 2-1. Okay. And then again, you look at the human connections. Each horse has a trainer. Believe it or not, these trainers are very important. It's just like, people that own animals that you see some people take care of their animals better than others. That the truth that stands with trainers as well. When sometimes a horse changes hands from one trainer to another trainer.
And by the way, Mark, let me stop you for 1 second. You can
Sure.
click on the horse. Let me just give you an example. You can click on the horse. It gives you the trainer. It gives you the jockey. So you've got all this information right here on the website. Sorry to interrupt there. Go ahead.
Well, that's good. That's why this website is so good. There is a lot of information on it. Okay. And, yes, it's gambling, but it's also figuring out a puzzle. And I think that's why I enjoy it so much. It's not simply rolling the dice and figuring quick odds in your head. Okay. There are so many variables in a horse race to consider. The post position. If there's 10 horses, the number 1 horse in U.S. racing starts near the rail, and the 10 is the widest horse. At certain distances, the widest horse has an advantage. At other distances, the rail horse has an advantage.
Right.
These are all variables that you're going to consider in every race. And that's why I say no two races are alike. There's no general statement you can make other than look for value as a bettor. Look for value, meaning look for odds that you evaluate are higher than what what the public has posted for other horses. In other words, a lot of times the public goes to a false favorite because their last race was good. And you can look back and see that, this other horse has even more ability, but his last race wasn't as good. And the public, they have a short memory. That's why you can make money at horse racing, even though it's parimutuel betting and you're betting against the other bettors.
All right, Mark, let's do something fun here. We'll do this for the first time, and I'm going to do this a couple times. Let's take a look at this race. 13 minutes to post. I know you haven't had a chance to study the form. I mean, listen, this is not Wednesday night's not the craziest night for racing, but obviously the money to be made is every night. But there's obviously much bigger and more races on the weekend. But there's still some money to be made, obviously, every night. And by the way, as I showed you, all the tracks that AmWager has over 450 internationally coming up at 10:10, Australian harness. 10:15, Australia A. There's some Greyhound racing. Australia B, C, and D. Japan Kawasaki at 2 a.m. You can bet around the clock. But let's do this for fun, Mark. 12 minutes to post. You mentioned it's a thoroughbred maiden special weight, 4.5 furlongs, which is pretty short. But as you mentioned, kind of a bigger purse. Let's take a look just based on the true odds and the win odds. Let's do a $5 win bet on what you're seeing. Obviously, the pools are just filling in. If you want to see right there, that's $202 on the win in the win pool right now. On the 1, $337 on the win pool for the 3, $200 on the win pool for the 6. And I don't want to bog people down with too much horse racing minutia because you want to learn this at your own pace. But the website's fascinating. It gives you everything you need. Win totals. Obviously, the Exacta will pays. The will pays for doubles and picks 3s and pick 4s. And don't worry, I'll get to the live video in just a second. And there's win charts too. But Mark, based on what you see here, and I know that I'm asking you to kind of take a little bit of a jump here, but just for fun, based on what you're seeing from the true odds to the win odds, let's decide on a $5 win bet for the Mountaineer race number 11.
Well, wait, there's only 7 horses in this race?
Yep, there's 7 horses. You got 2 scratches, right? The 4
so
and the 5.
We've got a couple minutes here. Why don't you click on each horse and let me see the human connections, meaning the jockey and the trainer.
Yep.
Drunken Love
is Chris Fox, and the trainer is Katie Cheek. Sounds pretty great.
Okay, go to the 2.
Quiche is Adrian Flores and James Chapman.
All right. 3.
All right. Trip to Soul is Luciano Hernandez, and the trainer is James Chapman. So that's his second horse in the race. Tumbleweed Fever is Alex Gonzalez and Anthony Ferrer. I've actually heard of him before. I'm sorry. There we go. And then Osby Slew. Well, I want to get rid of that mark there. Osby Slew is Osmond Santos. The trainer is Wilfredo Montano. And Oscar, Wilkin Ortiz. The trainer is C. LaRue. I've heard that name before. And I believe we have one more here. Your mom knows. I love some of these names, Mark. Your mom knows. Your mom knows is Luis Colon and Anthony Ferrer. So he's trading two horses in that race. You got another guy that has two horses in that race. So what do you see connection-wise? And just to really quickly explain what you mean connections. Connections are jockeys, trainers, families, sires. That's what a horse connection is, right?
Correct. The human connections are the jockey and the trainer. Okay. Yep. And at certain venues, usually a jockey will, one or two jockeys will be pretty dominant at a meet. And even at the larger meets, like in Saratoga or whatever, the top 5 jockeys will win 60% of the races.
Right.
And certain trainers, you've heard of them, Todd Pletcher,
Bob
Baffert. These guys, they're high percentage trainers, but if you bet their horses in the long run to win, you're just going to be a loser. You're going to get ground out. They're going to grind you out because of the takeout. You'll pick winners more often, but your bankroll won't grow. Okay. Here at Mountaineer, these horses aren't as predictable. They're not as talented. So we're going to look for a price. And let's look at the true odds versus the odds and see where
so far the two looks pretty solid to me. The win odds are 10. The true odds are 20-1 based on the pool so far. That's quiche.
I mean, if I would bet, $3 win in place on the 2. If I remember correctly, Chapman is the trainer of the 2 and the 3.
Yes, that's correct.
And the 3 is one of the favorites. Well, there's a rule that if you follow it, and it's hard to do, but if you follow this rule, when a trainer has 2 horses in the race, bet the longer shot of the 2.
Yep, and it always happens with Baffert.
You'll look at the book and you'll say, there's no way that this horse can beat that horse, but the trainer has put him in there, and he believes that horse has a chance to win that race. And usually that second horse is the better value in the betting pool.
So let's do this. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to show people how easy it is. And like I said, I wasn't an expert in this. I'm not even close to an expert like you are, but I've become so much more knowledgeable during the pandemic because it is so much fun and it's such an inexpensive thing to do. So let's go to quiche. His odds are now 12-1. The true odds, as you see right there, are 20-1. So you mentioned a win place bet, which means you're betting on the win and the place. So let's say the horse wins, you win the win money and you win the place money. If you bet on, obviously, a horse just to place, they've got to come in second, but you win both of those. So you could do, as they call it, each way.
He can come in first or second.
Well, right. But I'm saying if you take the win, they've got to win. If you take the place, they come in first or second. It's called each way odds, just to let people know what they mean. By the way, the odds are on a 15-1 mark, so they're getting out there. But you mentioned a $3 win place bet on quiche. So I selected $3. It shows you what it would pay out there. $3 would win you $49.50 on a win bet. But if we go win place, it would obviously, as the 3s become the favorite, the 4 to 5 favorite. If we go there and select WP, which is win place, the rest of these are self-explanatory: win, place, exacta, try, super, pick 5. We'll get to those in a bit. There's the 3. It would win us $54.30 on the win and the place. So are you ready to go for this, even though the odds are going the wrong direction? I like it.
Let's see. He's down to 17-1.
17-1.
And
now he's 18-1. I'm putting it in. $3 win place. That's it. Submit. It's in. Now, this is the other cool thing that horse players, some of them will obviously know this is how it works, but some might not. You click video, and guess what? we've got a live view of Mountaineer. And you can obviously do a small, a medium, a large, or you can actually press the P button, which takes it out, and you can actually move it around and do whatever you want to do and select whatever track you want to select. So we can actually watch this live, Mark, as it happens. We'll get back to this in a minute, but I think that's such a key thing. I'll actually leave that up there. What do you go reload on your drink there without telling me?
I need some water.
All right,
You're making me talk too much.
So we'll go back to this in a second, but I think that a key for a horse player, especially the new ones, is being able to watch the feeds live. A lot of people are familiar with TVG and other NBC Sports Network that shows live horse racing, ESPN, ABC. Many stations do. But to be able to watch every single race that you put money on, I think it's one of the great innovations of the last 20 years, where you're able to go online, make your wager, and watch the live feed at the track with each individual track announcer. I think it's one of the coolest things, Mark.
That is awesome. It's unbelievable. When I look back on when I started horse racing, started going to the track, we used to have to make double headers to see, if you bet 20 races in a day, that means you went to DRC for the A program, and then you grabbed something from Burger King and you drove straight to Hazel Park to catch the standard breds. Okay, that was the only way you were betting 20 races in a day, but that was a good day. Now you're betting 20 races an hour if you can handle it, and you're seeing every race live. Yeah, it's on your phone while you're driving.
You don't watch them when you're driving. In the passenger seat. All right, let's do this.
Do not do what I just said. Okay?
Don't do that. We've got Jim Hanovic, who thinks the 6 is the winner. Let's take a look here. I'm going to get rid of the video for a second. So he likes Tumbleweed Fever. The true odds and the win odds are basically the same. 14% of the win pool is on Tumbleweed Fever. So you know what? In honor of Jim, who's obviously a big fan of the show, we're going to make a $2 win wager just for Jim. And if it wins, I'll give you the winning. So you'd win $12? Let's put it in there. It's that simple, and it's in. And before we'll watch this race live. Mountaineers, they're pretty on time, aren't they, Mark? They're not too bad when it comes.
Yeah, they're going to be a little bit behind post time. Okay.
Yeah, compared to Charlestown, they suck. Yeah. By the way, your wife just texted in the oh my god emoji because you told people to watch the race while they're driving. Do not watch the race. By the way, his wife is beautiful. This is show right there. Look at her with the little baby. That's your granddaughter, right?
Correct.
What's her name?
Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah Banana. So no watching the racing. Only the passenger seat in the back. Jim is excited for his wager there.
All right, but let me just say this. You're talking about the video and how you can watch races from all over the world, not just the country. Back in the 90s, they finally allowed simulcasting in Michigan, one race a week. Are you listening to me?
That's
one
crazy.
Race per week. And guys that like the horses like me would plan our weekend around that one race so we could go to DRC and watch that race from New York so we could see a horse race in New York. Okay?
It's incredible.
It is.
Let me do this. Let me do this. Well, go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, while we got a second, you keep talking, but I want to show people the plus because this is kind of easier for the more novice horse bettor. I just want to show everyone right here on the regular pro site. You go to plus. And Mark, you think the first site's cool for the experienced horse bettor. This has all the tracks right here. Let's say we want to go to what we were watching at Mountaineer, and we go to Mountaineer. It loads it up. It has the same kind of stuff here as far as the money line. It doesn't have the true odd stuff, but it's got all this. It has all your abilities to make your wagers. Whether you want to do a win bet, whether you want to do a exacta, whatever it is. But you can watch the race there. Mark, let's say you got something going on at the Grand River track. Let's say you got something going on at Emerald Downs. you can watch up to 4 at once. I think actually there's a way to do 5. So you can have 5 feeds going on at one time, incredible.
Yeah,
which is incredible. Yeah. And it still shows you all the pool totals. It still shows you the morning line odds and all the things that you need to kind of look, but it's more just kind of streamlined, if you will, as opposed to the pro site, which has all the true odds and all the different ways to stack bets. It keeps track of your active bets and your closed bets. Here, let's just pick one more track just for posterity here. We'll go to Evangeline. So now we've got 4 live tracks on, and we can wager on whatever one we want here. We can go to Emerald Downs, race 7. Absolutely. We can go to Northfield. We can go whatever you want to do, and it just goes there and gives you the live view of that. But back to what you were saying, Mark. Go ahead.
Well, I was, telling you how few simulcasts there were, and how excited, if you're a real horse player, how excited you were that you got to watch a race with quality horses from New York or from Chicago at the time. I can remember the first World Cup. That's the Dubai World Cup, where the biggest race in the world at that time, the purse was, I don't know, $4 or $5 million. Now it's 20, but back then it was 4 or 5 million. But it was at 10:30 in the morning on a Friday morning at DRC, and I would see all these guys that I knew come straight from work, and we'd all be there betting that race because it was like a holiday, like a Kentucky Derby day for us. And then obviously there's nothing like Derby Day or the Triple Crown and Breeders' Cup races. Those are very special days for a horse player.
They are. Let's go back to Mountaineer. We'll watch this race live, and we still have plenty of time there. So you know what? Why don't we do this? Just because I want to show people how to build all these different kind of tickets. Let's do it exacta this time. Do you want to do it at Mountaineer? Because we still have, what do you think, about 4 or 5 minutes till they load? Maybe a little less than that, but they're not even in the gate yet. Do you want to go to another track and do it exacta, or do you want to stick with Mountaineer and do it exacta on this race?
Let's stick with Mountaineer. Let's go with the 2 horse. Let's do $1 exacta box. The 2 and the 9. The 9 is the second choice.
Just to show everyone here, this is, I mentioned, exacta, try, super, pick 5, win place. So I clicked exacta. I'm going to click box. You don't have to. You can build it yourself, but you want to do it with the 2. So obviously we have a box there. And then what do you want to do it with as well? The 2 and 18 to 1. Who else?
Let's go with the 9. He's the second choice. I like his connections.
All right, so we'll do $1 on that. And, of course, that, just to show everyone, costs $2 because you have a box that's each way. It's the 2 can win, and the 9 can come in second. 9 can win. 2 can come in second. Now, what do you think about this? We just got a comment here. Actually, I want to place – I'll get back to the video in just 1 second. We'll place that bet. So we got an exacta box there. We'll show people how to do trifectas and supers in a little bit. But how about this comment from Katrina saying, I think the 1 is going to break really well, and that should give him an advantage of this. He meant to say, or she would say short race, not shirt race. Do you, let's take a look at the 1 here. The 1, as I know we looked at the connections, Mark, the 1 Drunken Love jockey, Chris Fox, trainer Katie Cheeks, the odds 5 to 1. The true odds actually are worse than the regular odds right now. It's a little less than 5 to 1. Do you see anything with the 1 that we should maybe throw a couple bucks on here, or do we not want to listen to Katrina tonight?
Well, I think Katrina, she's very knowledgeable, and she's I place a lot in what she says. So I haven't had the opportunity to look at the form, but she's indicating that this horse has early speed. So you would expect this horse to jump out near the front, maybe jump out on top, and in a short race, that's definitely an advantage. Definitely.
All right, so let's do we'll do another exacta box for $1. How about we'll do this? We'll do the 2. You like the 9.
Tell my daughter on
so we're going to put the 9 involved here, and we will do the 1 as well, Drunken Love. And that'll cost us $6, and we'll put it in. And that way we have 1, 2, 9, any combination in the first and second position, and we feel good. All right, let's I feel great about that. And now they're in the postmark, and we're watching it live here.
Well, Katrina called it. The 1 broke well.
The 1 did break well. I want to try to go full screen on this if I can.
Yeah,
there we go.
There we go. The favorite looks tough.
It does look tough, and I'm telling you, I'm feeling our 2.
Yeah, our 2
3's
is
looking good.
Yeah.
Wow, how exciting. How long have you known this guy?
Here comes the 9.
Yeah,
this
the 9's right there.
is not
All right, we
picking
got
up.
1 9. Any combination. It's a very short race.
3's done, I think.
I think the 3 is done. So let's get the 1 9 going out. Here we go. The 3's making a move here, Mark.
No, he just had a little trouble on the turn. Otherwise, he made it a pretty easy race.
Too easy. But, we didn't win that one, but we had fun, and we could see how easy it is to make these wagers and also to watch these tracks live all over the world. It is fascinating. So that's just as easy as you can get it done. And by the way, while we're here, I just want to take another second to say, as we've said throughout the show, Mark, our good friends at AmWager are bringing you this show tonight. They're not just giving you 1 DTM bonus, they're giving you 2. And, of course, for all viewers of the task force, you go to the website, AmWager.com, you give them a call. We put the number up if people want to call them. And obviously, you can go to the website, and the number's on there. And if you put in the promo code task force, no deposit needed, $10 free. Do whatever you want with it. And if you lose it, you still can get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. You send 50, you get 50. You send 80, you get 80 free. You send 100 in, you get 100 free. So they're doing that in perpetuity. The $10 free instant no deposit bonus is only until Sunday, July 19th. So get involved with that only until Sunday, July 19th. By the way, Mark, we'll get to this in just a minute, but there is a huge track and meet opening up this weekend as your friend randomly walks in the background. You guys have a big golf tournament coming up. Where is it at, and what are your chances of winning?
Well, we're playing at Oak Point. That's in Brighton. It's called a member guest. We've played in it for years. My good friend Dave Zilkowski, my college roommate, unfortunately, he doesn't play the horses as much as I think he should.
Let's get him involved. Come on.
He's got a little slot. He likes the slots, believe it or not.
the squatch likes the slots. They're not good for you.
The squatch likes the slots too. But
let's take
I would handicap. Let's put it this way: I think there's 16 teams in our flight, and it's all handicapped. So it's just who has the best day, who can play under pressure. So I like our chances. All
right, let's do this quickly. I want to show everyone a video from our good friends at AmWager. Take a look at just how easy it is to get involved.
Join AmWager today and take the thrill of racing with you wherever you go. Bet smarter and more efficiently from any device using AmWager's exclusive built-in betting tools. Access AmWager's entire menu of features, including our exclusive bet modifiers and even results from past race days, all while maintaining your personal preferences on your laptop, tablet, and mobile phone. Sign up for free and cash in on the industry's most generous sign-up bonus. Earn 10% cash back on all eligible wagers made in the first 30 days. And that is just the beginning. Earn even more with daily cash rewards, win bonuses, and referral commissions. Join AmWager today.
Is really important as you're obviously getting another drink. I've told you live TV, don't leave too much. You're doing a great job, though. Something else that I think that is important to mention, and you being a pretty big horse player, we're going to get into some of your scores here in a minute, but getting cash back every day if you're a small player or a big player makes a difference. Let's say you have a rough day, you lose whatever, 60, 70, 80 bucks. Getting some of that back always helps. Let's say you're a big player and, one day you win 5,000, but another day you lose 1,000. Getting some of that back is pretty special too. And that money back, the rewards money that goes right into your account at AmWager, you might end up winning triple what you lost.
Yeah, sometimes I'll have a bad day and basically go through my bankroll, and I might have 70, 80 bucks in there as rewards. And instead of making a deposit, I play with the rewards money, and boom, I'm back in action. And get my money back.
Listen, we always take viewer questions. I believe we had Katrina Diaby's weigh in. Now we have Shadi. I think that maybe that's a relative. Mark, let's have you answer this. He wants to know your honest opinion on the Racing Commission's suspension of Bob Baffert. If people don't know, he was recently suspended. They found 46 picograms in Charlatan, one of the favorites for the Derby, actually, before everything went to hell. Picogram is a trillionth of a gram, such a small amount for such large animals, which isn't even enough to make a difference. We've all heard Bob's excuse behind it. What are your thoughts, Dan and Mark? Let everyone know what Bob's excuse was, and what are your thoughts on that, Mark?
Well, I think, again, I wasn't even aware of the suspension. As you know, I've been out of town for a week.
Right.
So that suspension must have just came down. But I believe he said something to the effect that was a human error of one of his staff. And as the trainer, he took ultimate responsibility. Well, he should take ultimate responsibility. And that's why the rules are written that way. And if it was such, I don't know what a picogram is, but I can tell you this. If whatever level they say, if you exceed that, there's a reason why that level is what it is, meaning that does affect that horse's performance. And,
right.
I like to see rules enforced. I think, for the most part, we're, people have to follow rules. And, we're getting away from that. And it seems like the more high profile you are, the less the rules apply to you. And, I'm talking I'm talking everywhere. But in horse racing, there's a lot of stories about, is this stuff fixed or whatever? I would say, just from my 40 years experience, at the highest levels of horse racing, there's way more integrity in horse racing than there is in so many other aspects of life. So he should be held responsible. He should be suspended if his horses exceed that level. He wouldn't accept that suspension if he didn't know that he was wrong.
Right. Here's the info. Gamine tested at 185 picograms, Charlatan 46. Gamine was more than 9 times the threshold. Charlatan was more than twice the threshold. And they noted in this article, the sport's testing at very small levels. But, as you said, Mark, you got to have honesty in this sport. There's been a lot of controversy in the past. And this is one of the top trainers.
Look at last year. We didn't find out about Justify's positive test in the Santa Anita Derby until after he won the Triple Crown.
Right.
Now Justify is a great animal. What he did in 112 days from mid-February to the Belmont, we've never seen before. But it's somewhat tarnished by the fact that Bob Baffert felt he had to do something, give that horse something to make sure he won that Santa Anita Derby so he could qualify for the Kentucky Derby. It's a point system that gets you into that Kentucky Derby. And Justify had no points going into that race. So to me, I understand that these guys at the top in whatever industry you're talking about, they have some edge. They're willing to take chances. And unfortunately, we don't punish them the way we should. And that's why these guys continue to take chances. And quite frankly, that's why they end up way more successful.
You know who would cheat? I'll tell you who would cheat, Mark. The Rock.
The Rock, baby.
The Rock would cheat. All right. A few more things I want to do here.
Pump up a little.
The Rock. So check this out. We're going to do a quick trip down memory lane, and we're going to. We've gotten queued up the greatest horse racing win of your life. We'll show that. We're going to make a trifecta and superfecta wager live on the show. And before we go any further, I just want to mention again, I love these guys at AmWager. They're not just because they're sponsoring the show, but I've been involved with them for a while before we even got involved with the show. Their website's incredible. Their odds platform, their ability to view the races, the rewards, the bonuses, everything is great. And it makes it for someone like me that doesn't wager a lot of money, $5, $6, $7, $8, whatever it is. It makes it so enjoyable to make a $4 bet and have a chance to win $200-300, Mark. But they are offering just for this show tonight and until Sunday. If you use the promo code Task Force, whether on the website at AmWager.com or call them, and I'll put the number down on the screen right now, you get $10 for free, no deposit needed. If you lose it, don't worry about it. You can still get an up to $100 match bonus on your first deposit. You send 50, you get 50 free. You send 80, you get 80 free. But the $10 is yours no matter what. No deposit needed. So sign up tonight. Do it by Sunday. That's only good till Sunday. This is good forever. First deposit, up to $100 match bonus. Doesn't get any better. All right, so Mark, let's take a trip down memory lane if we may. I asked you to send some pictures. You sent me a ton. We'll start with your beautiful wife. There's the great Mrs. Show. That's at the Derby, right? You were at the Derby there?
Yeah.
The Derby. Yeah. Here's you and the Hitman. I told you that the show is a legendary horseman and handicapper. So there's the Motor City Cobra.
I've known Tommy 40 years.
Tommy's a great dude. Great dude. Big Pistons fan. There's you and your wife at the White House. I'm guessing pre-Trump. Is that you in the Situation Room? That's the press briefing room, right?
Correct.
That's a fancy suit. Here is you and one of my all-time favorites, Desmond Howard, the Heisman. Here, let's do it. The Heisman himself.
Yeah.
Desmond. Actually, I can't do it in my seat. There it is. Desmond. And then here, I'm guessing you're celebrating some monstrous win. What track is that at?
That's Churchill. That's the Derby.
All right, but I want to show this is the Piece de Resistance. I want to put something up on screen, and this is obviously a real deal. This is Mark. Now I know it says David Kramer because you split this with another guy because it was an expensive ticket, but that is how much you won on a single pick six wager. $236,000. I need you to please explain how that worked, what you put into it as far as handicap. Like, obviously, anyone could do this. It might be a little out of certain people's price ranges to cover as many horses as you had that day.
No,
but
this
you
one
really did. You won that.
Yeah. No, actually, that's my second largest score.
Oh, that's right. That's the Breeders' Cup betting challenge.
Yeah. That's a betting challenge. There was approximately 400 contestants in that contest. David Kramer and I, my good buddy, were in that contest. We were in 133rd place going into the last race. And that was the year American Pharoah won the Triple Crown. There's an example of finding value underneath a horse with no value. Okay. American Pharoah was a 3 to 5 favorite, meaning for $2, you were going to get $3.20. You're not going to make money doing that. So we strategized. I came up with the numbers. I like the horse. I keyed a horse second. The horse's name is FNX. And there's a great story behind the name of the horse, FNX. But in any event, FNX was about 40 to 1. So we played a 400. We had 2,000 left in our account of the 10,000. We played a $400 exacta, American Pharoah and FNX, and a $400 trifecta, American Pharoah, FNX, and 2 horses. One of them was Code of Honor. I believe his name was Code of Honor or Honor Code. One of the two. Anyways, it came ABC 1, 2, 3. And we turned the 2,000 into 71,000, and the 71,000 put us in second place, which awarded us another 165,000 or so in prize money. So that's the story behind my second biggest win.
Now, I need you to tell us the story behind your pick six win, which was one of the most incredible things I've ever heard. Let everyone know where it was at. What ended up happening? I know you split it with a friend. How much you won and what that was like.
Horse racing used to be very simple. Win, place, show, betting. Then they went to daily double. Then they went to exactas and trifectas. But now they have to compete with the casinos. So they've been coming up with these jackpot wagers. So this was almost 8 years ago now. They introduced a 10-cent bet, but it was a jackpot bet. The only thing I can compare it to is if you play poker and you've ever played jacks or better trips to win. In other words, when you play jacks or better trips to win, if you don't have at least trips, you have to re-ante. The pot keeps building. Well, this pick six, this 10-cent pick six at Gulfstream Park in Florida was a new bet, and not a lot of people were playing it because they thought it was too gimmicky. I thought that it brought value to the small size player like myself at the time, in that I could now build a big ticket with a small wager. I invested $1,300 with a couple buddies in this pick six bet, which allows you to pick multiple horses in 6 consecutive races.
You got to pick the winner in each of the 6 races.
You have to win 6 consecutive races, but you're allowed to make multiple choices in each race, as many as you want to pay for. Okay?
Right.
So I put together this ticket. I got a couple of investors, and I had the big thing about this bet is if more than one person hits it, the payout is small.
Right.
But if you're the only person that hits it, you get the whole pot. Okay? So on this particular day, going into the last race, I had 6 horses left on the ticket, and there were only 6 live tickets. So theoretically, I was the only person, not theoretically, in actuality, I was the only person that could hit this jackpot, and there were 12 horses in the race. I had 6 of them. And sure enough, one of my 6 won, and that $1,300 ticket returned $414,000.
So tell me, in the final race, when you know you've gotten it, were you there or were you watching at home?
I was at Northfield Downs. I played it on the simulcast, and I was in the basement. And after the first 3 legs, I called the other 2 investors because they're both big gamblers and they like to sleep a lot. So I told them, look,
like me.
Yeah. So I told them, listen, you guys better get over here because I got a lot of coverage in the last 3 legs. And they knew nothing about the bet. They just trusted me. Okay. So they came, and we got to the last race, and one of the 2, I thought he was going to have a heart attack. I mean, I was pretty calm because at the top of the stretch, there were 4 horses, and I had all 4. So the one guy, he's going nuts, and he's screaming for the longest shot of the 4. And I'm saying, Joe, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, what the long shot? I says, the long shot don't matter. We did the whole pot. Okay? So it's pretty cool.
That's phenomenal. All right, well, let's do a couple things. Go ahead.
It was a little downer for me because had I just played the ticket on my own, I felt like I gave away $250,000, you know?
Yeah, but you didn't want to spend $1,800 on your own.
13. No, I didn't. You're right. Yeah.
All right, let's do a couple things before we go. Mark, I can't thank you enough. We'll do this again. You are an expert among experts. I want to go to the plus site, and we're going to make a couple bets. We'll make a try and a super on the AmWager Plus, because that's the one that is really for the people that, maybe you're more of a novice horse bettor. You can obviously bet on the pro site too, the one we showed you earlier. Here, I'll go to both of them right now and show everyone what we're talking about. But when it comes to this is the true odds, and it's got the will pays. You mentioned pick sixes. It shows you all the different possibilities of what a pick 4 or pick 6 could win. But I want to go to the plus site here. I'll let you pick the track, Mark. We'll do a try and a super. This is the one where you can watch all these feeds at once. So we've got. Let's see. Do you want to do? We've got the Canadian track Assiniboia or Boya. I always pronounce it wrong. That's in 2 minutes. We've got Emerald Downs in 1 minute. You pick the track. I mean, Evangeline's 9 minutes away, but that could be 15. So you want to do or you want to do Mountaineer again? It's your call.
Yeah, go Mountaineer.
All right, so we're going to go to Mountaineer. And like I said, you just click bet now. It's got all the things that the other, pro site has. But like I said, if you're watching multiple tracks, you can watch both these tracks. You watch four at once. So let's do a try here. Obviously, same thing: win, place, exact to try, pick 4, super, and win, place. So we'll go to a try. And as I mentioned, Mark, they don't have the same true odds and all the information on this site, but it's a little easier to navigate for the novice. Let's just take a look here. You got the trainers and the jockeys. It's only a 7-horse race here. Anything when you look at it here that's kind of sticking out to you? We'll just do a cheap trifecta.
I would say, why don't you play like a $3 exacta box 2-3 and a 50-cent try 2-3 with 2-3.
All right, so let's do this exacta box 2-3. We got value voucher. That's going to be 2-3. We're going to do a box. So as I put 2-3, we're going to go to box. I'm sorry, let me do it again here. 2-3. So we're going to do that for how much?
Do it for $3.
All right, so we'll do that for $3. And that's in. And that's as simple as it is. I like the little horse that goes there. And then we'll do a try here.
50-cent try.
And we'll do 50-cent try. What do you want to put on top?
2-3.
All right, so we're going to do 2 and 3 on top.
With
and then
all.
we click here with all. So you click the all button.
Yep.
And then
2-3.
2-3.
Nope. Yeah.
All right, that's actually we can't.
No.
Sorry, it's a $10. It was a $10.
No.
We got to do it.
Go back. Yeah. You do it for 50 cents.
I don't think we can. I don't think Mountaineer has 50-cent tries.
Approaching the game.
Okay.
So we'll do it for $1.
All right.
And we're putting it in. Good. So just to explain again, we have the 2 and the 3 on top. So the 2 or 3 has to win. Any horse can come in second, and the 2 or 3 has to come in third.
Correct.
That's what, when you press all, we hit every horse. And then, of course, as I mentioned, it's got all the odds down here like the other site, the pro site does, but it doesn't have it's got the pool stats too, if you want to look at the pool stats as far as the odds and how much money is in the pool. And then obviously you can take a look at the tickets that we have, the live tickets. So here we go. They're coming to the gate, Mark. We'll watch this live.
Now, Fielder moving in for race.
So we're cheering for 2 and 3 here, right? 2 and 3.
Claimers going 6 furlongs. Value voucher.
I love this. And being able to watch it. And horse racing is so great, Mark. It's like you bet $50 on a football game. I love that. But it's 3-4 hours. This is 2 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, this is about a minute.
2-3. Anybody? 2-3.
This is about 74 seconds.
Kurt Hoover there in the TVG studios. They're all set here.
I love some of these announcers, by the way.
I'm a realtor during the day.
Yeah.
Thanks
this guy's been there
They're off and racing. Caught them in a good line.
All right, the 2-3 right there on the
and beginning quickly was Whiskey Sour.
The post,
on the outside is Twin
3's looking nice. The 2's right there.
Is through along the inside and deeper out on the track. Then is Bork and settling in behind them.
What do you see so far, Mark? You like how the 3's looking?
Well bunched as they run to the 4.
If it ends right now, we win this race. If it ended as the 3,
right now.
Saturday, Forest Blue in the center, followed on the outside by Bork and Value Vouchers on the rail. Into the turn they race. And
here comes Artavia.
It's still Whiskey Sour.
I don't know. I'm not drinking one, Mark. You like Whiskey Sours?
We got a sucker's chance right now.
On the inside, Value Voucher, Forest Blue.
The 2 is right there to finish in third.
As they run to the quarter.
How about 3-4-2? How does that sound to you?
The 2 don't know which way to go.
In behind them comes.
It looks like we have a chance at 3-2-3
Value Voucher
or 3-4-2.
Behind them and deeper out Bork Twin Saturday into the stretch.
Get that 4 out of there. Come on, 3.
Yeah, it's coming up the wood. The 7 on the outside.
It's coming up. We just need the 3 to win.
As they run down.
Come on, no, the 7's going to screw
it. The leader
up.
is Whiskey.
The 7's screwed
it
up.
On the inside, Artavia, though, fought back. Artavia.
Hey, still, we were in it. It wasn't expensive. We had a nice chance and a nice payday there.
Hey,
we almost got it, Mark. Almost.
We got the blood flowing. That's all.
Yeah, listen, that's as simple as it is. This is the plus site. And as obviously I mentioned, the pro site has a little more information for you when it comes down to, I'm sorry, let me go back to that. When it comes down to the true odds, and obviously it's the same thing. All the tracks are right there. you have your exacta pays. Just to show people quickly, just for an example, at Delta Downs, and Mark, you already know this, but let's say you're going to do an exacta with the 1 and the 4. So you would look over on this chart under exacta, you would pick the 1, and you would take a look at the 4. It's going to pay $239 on a dollar bet. And that's a pretty great payout. How about 2-4 pays $1,240? Oh, now $1,672. But it's got the double pays. It's got the will pays for doubles and pick 3s and pick 4s based on the track. So it's really awesome. It shows your active bets. It shows your closed bets. It shows everything. You can also stack bets as well. So it's just an incredible site. And Mark, you know, I asked you to do the show with me because you're by far the greatest horse racing expert I know. And I'm not asking you to say this. It's your call. I'm not going to speak for you. You've played horses for a long time. I personally think this is the best software I've ever wagered with. What are your thoughts on the AmWager software? Because you're a pro. You're the guy that knows it doesn't need some of this stuff because you're going to study on your own. But what about for a player like me that's trying to learn? Is this as good a software as you see? Because for me, it is.
It's the best I've seen. No question about it. And I would say this. I'm not the most, what's the word I'm looking for? The most advanced when it comes to working.
Technology? I have to tweet everything for you.
So, but I'll say this: this is an easy website. The first day you go on it, you'll be able to figure it out. I mean, it's just that easy. All
right, I've got a couple surprises.
I thought
for
you were going to show me the race with American Pharoah. I was really looking forward.
That was the next thing I was doing. Will you stop rooting the surprises?
All right.
Jesus. By the way, your wife liked the 3, so she was on target. Why can't you be as good as her? Shoddy liked the 2-7 or 7-2. He was a little off like we were.
She had Zenyatta when I had who was it that Zenyatta beat that day? Oh, it was it's just Gio Ponte. Yeah, my wife had $2 on Zenyatta. She was going crazy. I had
how much did that win?
I don't want to tell you how much I had on Gio Ponte, who got beat.
2,000.
Oh, I don't even want to tell you.
I got 2 surprises for you. Let's start with this one because I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. This is your grandson, and you've already trained him very well. This is mini show. And he's already got the – now, how old is your grandson in this video? Already looking at filling out the racing form.
Yeah. He's got my glasses.
So you're starting him young here.
Can you
start him young?
Do you have the audio on it?
I got the audio.
Listen to the audio. That'll put you in
the – Judo. Why?
Number 8.
Because Judo wants number 8?
Yeah.
You hear that?
Do you want to watch Curious George or do you want the horses?
Horses.
Horses?
Horses.
And this horsey?
Yeah.
Do you want to watch Curious George of the horses?
Listen.
Number 6.
That's number 6?
Yeah. So now it's like you.
Okay, go. Number 6.
No, go. Number 6. Go.
Please tell me the 6-1. Please tell me the 6-1.
Of course he won. Yes.
You know how you do.
That's all. I just love it. Curious George or the horses? Horses. All right. So let's take a look at this before we go. And once again, thanks to you and thanks to AmWager. I'm really excited to be doing stuff with that. And I have a great bonus we'll get to and let everyone know that's just joining now. But I asked you to give me the race that meant the most to you, your biggest winning race. And this is it, my friend.
That chases American Pharoah through 3/4 of a mile. It won 11-1, so it's picked up a bit as they head for the far turn. American Pharoah's lead is 1.5 lengths. And now Victor Espinosa starts to pump on him and says, let's go. On the far turn, they're in front by 2. F&X continues to chase, and then comes Frosted and Tonalist, and they're all put to full-out drives, and American Pharoah is getting away, and they're into the stretch, and American Pharoah has a 4-length lead. F&X
Turn that up.
And then it's Frosted, Tonalist, and Honor Code. American Pharoah comes
There
in.
you go.
Final furlong, and he's got a 6-length lead.
Wow!
Into the wire, a Triple Crown winner, a Breeders' Cup winner, a horse of a lifetime.
Yeah, I was there. That was so exciting. That was so exciting. But the story
Oh,
behind
he said, "Oh, I'm doing a horse of a lifetime."
it is. He was.
So that's the one
horse's
that won
name-
you. That won you the $236,000.
Yeah, we came in second. Correct.
What did
Yeah.
first pay?
First paid three and a quarter, 325.
Now,
So
where were
anyway,
you in relation? Where were you in relation to these fools?
I was at the finish line up in the clubhouse. Right, I had the best seat in the house, maybe 20 yards up from those people you just saw. I was in the.
Wow.
It's called the Green Room. It's called the Green Room. It was a real nice place.
That must have been quite the day to not
Oh, that
just
was
see
quite
that
the day.
incredible horse, the all-time secretariat-like horse that had just won the Triple Crown, but to see that horse in person and win $236K.
But the key was the 6 horse. The 6 horse's name was FNX. These horses, you see it there, EFFINEX.
Yep.
I met the owner afterwards and the trainer. That horse, he got divorced, and he wanted to name the horse effing X, but you can't do that.
No, he can't do that.
So the jockey club who registers the names of the horses, they keep a pretty good eye on the names, because there's some pretty funny names. And that one slipped through because they realized what it was afterwards. So anyways.
Just an incredible race. Incredible race. Now, how much did your entry to that handicapping contest cost?
That was 10,000. And there were
10 grand, but it won you 236,000.
That was the return, yeah.
And now, like we talked about, as we talked about throughout this show, on AmWager, you can do pick 4s, pick 5s, pick 6s. I've won a pick 4 mark where I bet $5. I had a couple singles, like one horse in each race, and I won a couple hundred. So you can do low amounts, moderate amounts, huge amounts, and it's amazing. And like I said, it's legal. This is a company, AmWager. They are completely licensed and regulated in the U.S. They're out of Oregon. The Oregon Racing Commission licensed them, just like all the other sites. An incredible customer support team. If you win, you get your money immediately. I mean, they have all these different deposit options and payout options. It's awesome. And as we've talked about, there's American Pharoah, what a horse. As we've talked about, Mark, throughout the show, they've got a real special bonus for all the task force viewers. All you've got to do is you've got to go online at AmWager.com. It's all the information's on my Facebook pages, as well as my Twitter at DanLeach971 and Leach Task Force, the new Task Force Twitter. They give you a free $10. No deposit needed. If you lose that and you want to take your bonus, put in promo code Task Force when you sign up. And if you put in 50, they'll give you 50 free. You put in 70, you get 70 free. You put in 85, you get 85 free, up to $100 match bonus on your first deposit. And that lasts forever. The $10 free only until Sunday, July 19th. So get there today. And Mark, guess what? Saratoga opens this weekend. And what a time to get involved. Now, I've asked you this question many times. I'm interested about Churchill and Belmont and obviously the bigger tracks. Gulfstream and some of the Del Mar, Santa Anita. There's a different level of racing and a different level of horse at places like that. How about Saratoga? Where does that rank?
Saratoga's unreal. It could be my favorite. I mean, I love Keeneland, but if you go to Saratoga, it's like you're going back into the 1800s. That track is historic. Families go there. They picnic out in the area. There's a large area. People get there real early. They throw their blankets down. They bring their coolers, and it could be the 1800s. There's no electric. It's incredible, and it's upstate New York. So it'd be like going to Traverse City in the summertime and having world-class horse racing in the afternoon, on top of having golf in the morning, dinner at night, looking out at the water, and you got world-class racing. If you get the chance to go to Saratoga, not in the COVID time, but in normal times, do it. If you haven't been to a Kentucky Derby, do it. You'll see the whole world there. You'll see the poorest of the poor and the richest of the rich, and they're all
together
there trying to do the same thing. Beat the track. And it ain't easy.
It ain't, but it's fun. And by the way, you, my friend, are world class, and I know you know this. Your wife's birthday is on July 19th, so what a day for you and the family to sign up at AmWager. Happy birthday, Mrs. Show. Mark, I can't thank you enough.
I'll be playing 29 all day because she's going to be 29, you know. So
I thought she was going to be 28. I thought she was going to be 28. That's why she loves me more. Mark, before we go, any parting shots? You've explained so many different things. I appreciate that. You're one of the great horse experts and horsemen I've ever known. But just to the people that are watching, they're like, I don't know if I should really get involved in horse racing. It seems complicated. What do you say to the guy that wants to have a fun afternoon and spend $30, $40 betting horses?
I say if you want to enjoy your gambling dollar thoroughly, get involved in horse racing. It's a great way, even at home on a simulcast. You know, you can do your studying in the morning once you get a little familiar with reading the racing form, and you can get your bets in early. That's the nice thing about AmWager. You can bet early, and you can go about your day, and you can watch the races and see your account grow at night.
I love it. Don't forget, get there by Sunday, Heidi's birthday, Mrs. Show's birthday. $10 free, no deposit, no risk whatsoever. Use the promo code Task Force. That's good till Sunday. But then if you want to, by using the promo code Task Force, get it up to $100 sign-up bonus. Send 50, get 50. Send 60, get 60, etc. up to 100. Get involved. And as we mentioned, Saratoga this weekend. Mark, I can't thank you enough. We'll do this again. People are enjoying the show. You make this stuff fun for me and so many others. And here's to your next $400,000+ win. May it be as special as the first. And as I say on a personal note, I'm grateful to have you in my life. You've taught me a lot about not just horse racing, but also the meaning of life. So thank you for that. Thank you, my friend.
Dan, love you, friend. Take care.
All right, that's going to do it for the Task Force Special Edition, brought to you by our great friends at AmWager. Get that bet, that free $10 by just going to the website or calling them. Give them the promo code Task Force. That's good until Sunday. New Task Force Twitter, at Leach Task Force on Twitter. So get involved with that. We, of course, have the Facebook group page. We have a great discussion on that all throughout the week. So get involved in any way you can. We got some big guests coming up. Amy Andrews from Fox 2. The Pistons' Dwayne Casey is scheduled to come on in the next couple of weeks. And we, of course, have our great friend Jennifer Hammond from Fox 2 as well in the next couple of weeks. We'll see you next time. Once again, thanks to our great friends at AmWager.com. Get that free $10. There's nothing like free money. Shadi Williams saying a great show. Love horses. Well, then get to AmWager. Mark, thanks so much on behalf of the legendary horseman and handicapper, Mark the Show Haidar. I'm Dan Leach saying so long. See you next time. Wash your hands. Be kind to each other. Spread love, not hate. Believe in the dream. And thanks for watching the Task Force. Task Force out.